What's going on, Sky Squad? What's going on? What's going on? We are back in the building. Yes, I'm in a brand new location in the house because honestly, I could not take those lights up in my eyes, not one more good second. So I had to come on downstairs and we're going to get comfortable and cozy on this good couch right now. But we're going to be talking about the Married to Medicine episode from last night. You know, what we thought about that. We're going to recap that and rate that. But we also got to talk about this Real Housewives of Potomac promo and tea that they dropped at the end of last night's episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And quiet as it's kept, I kind of felt like that teaser was partly the best thing about that episode, but we'll get into that in just 1 second. In that good chatterization, let me know where you guys are watching from. If you're checking back in, if you're coming back for the second time today, you know, let us know where you're watching from. Drop that location. Drop that location. I see y'all. We got New York. We got Flower Mound, Texas, Houston, Texas. Who else we got up in the building? Vineland, New Jersey, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Shreveport, Columbus, Georgia, Texas up in the thing, upstate New York. Thank you for the love. Raleigh, Montreal, Minnesota, Jersey up in the building, Chi-Town, South Africa. We got all of our people back up in this good building right here. Okay, so let's get into the stories. So, you know, we got to talk about that promo from last night with regards to the Real Housewives of Potomac coming back this summer. We talked about it earlier. They had, I think they might have made a little mistake dropping that promo this past weekend on Friday night, but they didn't caught up with themselves, okay? And we got more than just a coming this summer. We got our first look at a scene that's coming up in the episode in which Karen Huger is alerting us to or making some serious allegations about that good Gizelle Bryant. And I got some questions for y'all. Then with regards to Married to Medicine, I got another question for y'all about Quad, okay? So let's go ahead and start with this. This was a hilarious clip last night, okay? They let us know that Potomac is coming back soon, y'all. Potomac is coming back soon, and they are back in action right where we last left off with Gizelle and Karen Huger going at it. And that good Dr. Wendy Osefo with the season 2 glow up, okay? So my question for y'all in the chatterization, because I don't know, I want to know, can somebody tell me what a hot box is? I just want to know. If you tell me, I mean, write it in the chatterization. I just want to know what it is. Because in the clip from last night, we have Karen Huger alleging that good Gizelle Bryant has got a hot box or a firebox. Was it a firebox and a hot box? I could have sworn she said both. But I know she said hot box. Now, I would have to be inclined to think, because that good Wendy asked something about, like, you know, is it something to do with the kitty cat? You know what I'm saying? Is it? I mean, what does it mean? You know, does that mean that you're hot in the pants, or does it mean something else? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So let me know in that good chatterization, because whatever it is, the box is hot and the block is hot. Okay, according to Karen Huger. So they going at it. And, you know, we get, you know, the reaction shots from that good Robin Dixon, you know, looking like a deer caught in headlights. You get a reaction shot of Ashley Darby looking like a deer caught in headlights. And then you got Dr. Wendy Osefo providing some comic relief, asking if anybody wants some, you know, booby-shaped cupcakes, okay? Again, we got Dr. Wendy Osefo with this good season 2 glow up. I got to tell you, Dr. Wendy, I like it. I like it. Whatever you did, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You're looking good, girl. You're looking good. This really doesn't give you a full view of, you know, the full upgrade for Dr. Wendy Osefo, but it gives you a little piece of the action. Now, we didn't get a look at any of the new any new girls or anything like that, and we did not see Candace in the scene. I'm assuming she's there, but you know, they can only show so much in the good 5 to 8 seconds that we got. So we'll have to be, you know, we'll have to just be on the lookout for whatever else we can get. Now, I have to say, bravo, this was a very smart move on your part. I think, yes, all the ladies did look good. This is a very smart move on Bravo's part. I feel like this is something that they should do across the franchises. You know, get us excited about what's coming up next. You ain't got to wait until you can give us a full trailer to start giving us these little sneak peeks. I mean, we want stuff like this. It gets us excited, especially as we're ending Atlanta. So for me, I'm kind of like, you know, y'all should have been doing this type of stuff all along. So I was here for it. Now, I know a lot of you guys may be wondering, you know, when is it coming out? Now, I'm hearing that it'll be out in August. That's pretty much when they released it last year. So I'm assuming that they would probably go for the same thing this year. And that also gives us enough time to get through the rest of the season of Married to Medicine, because, you know, that's a Sunday night show. And I feel like they always like to keep their, you know, the content with most of the African-American talent. I feel like that's typically reserved for Sundays for whatever reason. I'm not necessarily sure why. So I feel like that would give us enough time to end Married to Medicine and then dive right into Potomac. It would make sense, because by the time Potomac's ending, then we should be back with Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14. So we'll probably get a trailer, like I said, maybe around a full trailer, maybe around June or something like that, I would say, if not late May. So we got probably a couple of weeks before we get a new trailer, a full trailer, I should say. But this was enough to suffice, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Now I want to move on to That Good Married to Medicine. I don't know if you guys happened to catch this and peep this on last night, but you know, we did get another mention of Quad within the episode last night, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more when we get to that part of it. But I just kind of feel like, oh, somebody said don't forget Salt Lake City. Yeah, we'll probably get Salt Lake City around September, October, based on the previous year cycle. So that should definitely be good, because we got a lot of Jen Shaw stuff coming up. But if you guys happen to watch last night's episode of Married to Medicine, and you'll notice the title that I put on this video, it says, "Bring Quad Back to Married to Medicine." And let me tell you why. You know, Quad has only been in technically one episode this season, but she has been mentioned or pictured or talked about in just about all of them, it seemed like, okay? In just about every episode, it feels like there's a mention of Quad, okay? So I just kind of feel like, you know, if you're going to keep on mentioning her within the context of this show, then you may as well just bring her back, because, you know, I don't know whether it's a calculated move, because listen, okay, it could be something calculated. And hear me out when I say this. One thing is, I feel like if Dr. Heavenly is looking out for her girl, she could be like, you know, Quad, this beef that we got, you know what I'm saying? In her mind, she could be like, I want to bring my girl back. So what better way to do it than to keep mentioning her? That's one thing. And that would be smart. And that's what a real ride or die friend would do. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat, King God. It says I missed your live earlier, but I'm here now. You're my medicine, Richie. Hey, that's right. Because we married the medicine up in this piece. Actually, literally. So I just feel like, you know, we get another random mention of Quad in this episode from Dr. Heavenly, and it just kind of feels like, just bring the girl back full time. Like, if we're going to keep talking about her, let's just bring her back. And to me, it just makes the most sense, because I feel like there's always a mention of her, even although she's not necessarily on the season like that. I guess she's going to be considered a friend, and she'll be coming back in episode 9, I'm told. But, you know, I just feel like, let's just bring her back. I mean, come on. Like, if we're going to keep talking about her, bring her back. Okay. Black Royalty says Married to Medicine needs Quad and Mariah back. I miss both ladies in the shenanigans. Good times and laughs are had when they are at their best. Yes, I agree with that. But you know what's funny? We don't get any mentions of Mariah at all. It is almost as though she has been erased on this show, which is rather unfortunate to me, because I feel like, again, that energy from Mariah is missing as well. But notice, if you have noticed, nobody's mentioned Mariah at all. Okay, they haven't. So I thought that was interesting. Also interesting to note, we got this. I don't know if you guys happened to see this last night, but your girl Quad posted this on her Instagram page. Now, if you look at this, she says, never worry about what others say. Can't block what God blessed. It feels good to be an example showing women what they can accomplish on their own. This is what it looks like when you keep it in the family. I told you, she says, I am Sharika Nicole. I told you, I got you. So it looks as though Quad has purchased her own home. If you look at this video, and I'm showing you guys, you know, a little bit of the back part of the house or whatever, and the layout with the pool and all that kind of stuff like that. It does look like it's on the fabulous end. You know, we get Quad signing the paperwork and all that good stuff like that. So I do want to say shout out to Quad. Congrats to her on that. And it looks like she's done this all on her own. So, you know, for all the people out there talking about Quad, I guess she's saying, you know what? I got my own. I got my own. So shout out to Miss Quad for that. I think we got a couple of super chats came through. 811 says, I wish they would bring Quad and her ex-husband back. They don't have to be together to be on the show. I absolutely agree with you on that. And it would have been interesting to see what their dynamic would have been as they had to intermingle with the group. And I say, you know, let them both come back and then see how the group dynamic works. I felt like we've never seen that on this show, and it would be interesting to see where the chips fall. Black Royalty 88 says, Married to Medicine needs Quad and Mariah back. Oh, we got that one already. All right, so thanks y'all for the super chat. Now, let's get into the episode. In terms of rating the episode from last night, despite the fact that I feel like they should make Quad a full-time character on this show because she's mentioned in every episode, I feel like I'm going to give this episode a 9.5. And I want you guys to rate the episode as well. Now, I give it a 9.5 mostly because I felt like this was a good episode. I feel like this group thrives when they're all together, when they're traveling together. The comedy, the mixture of the husbands and the wives and the whole crew together, to me, I felt like it was the perfect match. There was no major headline that came out of this episode. So for me to still give it a 9.5 tells you, in my opinion, how good this group is when they interact together like this. It was just, to me, it was A+ work. I felt like it was a well put together episode. There were necessary moments. I feel like to a certain degree, when I was watching this episode, I felt like I was a part of the group. And maybe it's because we've been with the majority of these people for so long that we almost feel like they have welcomed us into their own lives. And we feel like we know them to a certain degree. So for me, that's why I would rate the episode so high, because I didn't have any expectations for it. I never know what to expect going into these episodes, but for some reason it delivered something that I felt like I needed. And quiet as it's kept, I'm actually going to go rewatch it today because I feel as though, because I'm taking notes sometimes, I don't really get to sit back and just enjoy the episode as a casual viewer, right? So I kind of want to go back and just rewatch some things that maybe I didn't really get to fully zone in on because I was so busy taking notes, right? But speaking of those notes, let's go ahead and stage dive into what we got to talk about with the episode, okay? Now we get everybody prepping for DC. You know, Carrie arrives at Toya's place and Toya says this. Oh, hold on for a second. We have LaToya has no connection to any of the ladies on the show. This way she needed Carrie and Lisa Nicole. So sad, give me Quad. Yes, I will comment on this as well since we're talking about Toya and Carrie. I do feel like Carrie and Lisa Nicole are needed on this show at this point because you have a situation where you have Toya being surrounded by mostly doctors, okay? And I just feel like she doesn't really, it's kind of sometimes, I don't want to say sad, but I kind of get the feeling that they may subconsciously look down on Toya because she is not a doctor. And I don't know if it's a conscious thing that they do, but I just kind of feel like that's the case. So I kind of feel like, you know, she needs some backup to a certain degree, and it needs a bit of balance. So I definitely feel you on that. And speaking of that balance, when Toya says, "Do you see my lopsided bed?" Carrie plops down on the bed and says, "Is that because Eugene is in it?" Now, beyond the obvious shade with that, I mean, to be quite honest with you, I feel like Toya, you asked for that one a little bit. Okay. Lala Chanel, thank you for the super chat. Says Quad seems to be the Nene on Married to Medicine. Even when she's not there, they mention her. Thank you for that super chat. So, as Carrie was saying that, as she was plopping down on her bed, I had to ask myself this question. And I want you guys to answer. Because he said, because she was making, she was alluding to Eugene being heavy. But the bigger question that I had to ask is, and Toya raised this question as well, is it okay, or should you as a friend sit on your married friend's bed? And I know that's a weird question, but I feel like it's a pertinent question because it came to my mind, and Toya also mentioned it as well. I just felt like, should you be sitting on your married friend's bed? Okay? I just want to hear what y'all got to say. We had another super chat come through while I wait for these responses. Demita Joe says it's obvious that they look down on her. Yeah, I felt like that too, Demita. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I just kind of feel like, yes, I shut my bedroom door when company's over. I just feel like when you are, and I probably didn't feel like this when I was single, okay? And I was single, I was living out on my own and stuff like that. I probably didn't mind if I'm in my room and I have a friend over or something like that and we talking, if my friend sits on the bed. I think I never really paid attention to it. But now I think I'm so like, I feel like that's your private personal space. So I often find myself closing the door to the bedroom, when people are, somebody coming up stairs or something like that, they coming through the house. I just feel like, but at the end of the day, though, Toya did bring Carrie into the room. So it just struck me in that moment, like, well, you mad that she's sitting on the bed, but you brought her into the room. We got a super chat from Melissa Bell says, "Hey, Richie, I thought she said because he's too heavy. Love you and congratulations." I think she might have said something to that effect, but she was basically alluding to the fact that she felt like the man was heavy. Okay. Heavy. Thank you for that super chat, though. Oh, Tiffany says, "Married or not, you will not sit your outdoor butt on my bed. No, ma'am, no ham. Pam, I got you on that one, Tiffany. I got you on that one." Erica C says, "You don't sit by the headboard." Okay. So anyway, as everybody's packing for the trip, Dr. Damon says, Dr. Heavenly has to assure Dr. Damon that the ladies will not cause drama on the trip. Has he seen this show? So everybody arrives at the jetway. Okay. We learned that Toya had already invited Carrie to come and she didn't tell the other ladies. Okay. And then when they get on the plane, Dr. Heavenly moves Carrie's bag and she says, "This is my jet. Okay. You take your bags back there because you're just a plus one and I didn't invite you anyway." So then Lisa Nicole arrives. And in my mind, I was thinking to myself this. Now, I know in real life, I am sure Dr. Heavenly knew that Lisa Nicole and Carrie was coming up on that trip. Because you got to have enough room on the jet for the amount of passengers that you're about to have. And you would have had to know how many rooms to get for this house. But here's my question. Because I know the answer for me. Is it ever okay to invite 2+1s on a private jet, okay, that you was invited on? Because in my mind, it's a no for me. And also, quiet as it's kept, I might have told them they can't get on this flight. You weren't invited. That's just me. You weren't invited. And your friend should have had the courtesy enough to tell me she wanted to invite these 2 extra people. Okay. I just feel like that's, it's tacky. Why would you do that? I get why Toya would have wanted them to come, and I get why production needed them there. But I just kind of feel like it's a private jet for a reason. I mean, and personally, I have never ridden on a private jet. Okay. So, I'm gonna be Dr. Heavenly when she get off the plane. And I'm gonna be taking all the photos. Okay, you're gonna see all of them on Instagram, every last one of them. Okay, you're gonna see me popping off that plane. You're gonna see me on the stairs and everything. Actually, you might even see me in the pilot seat. Okay, just taking photos and videos for the gram. Okay, living it up. Anyway, so they arrive. They get on the bus. Heavenly announces that Al Sharpton and Ben Crump will be coming to dinner. Okay. Now, the room assignments are coming in the form of a quiz about Black history. Okay. Now, the husbands are not supposed to participate, but that does not stop Eugene, okay, from giving Toya the answers. Carrie, we learn, is out of luck because she doesn't know anybody Black in politics or in the world outside of them and Obama, okay? She don't know nothing about the Black history or the Black experience except Obama and what she done seen on this show, okay? Circa season 1. Toya Caldwell says Toya can't fight intelligently. Unfortunately, she needs backup. Ooh, thank you for the super chat. And that is because Carrie is from the UK. So, and she's a white lady. So I felt like they showed her, a lot of grace in this scene because I felt like she kept it real. Toya and Heavenly ultimately get into it about the answers. And Heavenly just, she has a Heavenly moment and she just decides that she's going to assign rooms. Okay. Now, the house they get to, I was like, now where that house at? It said Bethesda up in here. Okay. And so for me, what that said to me was, I'm headed to Bethesda. Okay. I am headed to Bethesda. I'm going to look at that house. I want that house. Okay. That house was amazing. Okay. It was sexy. It was nice. I was happy with it. Dr. Heavenly, you did a good job. And I want to know which house that was because I want to be up in that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Cecil and Simone steal the blue room that Toya and Eugene was supposed to get. Eugene seems real pressed about that room, but Toya for some reason does not. Okay. Now, again, this was the moment that it occurred to me that I said, I'm going to have to rewatch this episode because I felt like there was so much fun being had that I needed to, I really didn't get into it the way that I needed to get into it. So I'm going to go back and do that later. Now, they prep for dinner with Al Sharpton. Cecil comes down looking all dapper Dan. You know what I'm saying? Al Sharpton arrives. And what I notice is they take seats at the table. Okay, so Heavenly and Al Sharpton are sitting beside each other, right? Now, what you will notice is the pool is to the back of Dr. Heavenly and Al Sharpton. Now, because they're sitting at the head of the table. Now, to me, this would have been bothersome because I don't like to sit with my back to an open space. And I don't know where that comes from or what, but to me, I just would have felt like I was in danger with my back being so close to the pool. I also don't like to sit with my back to the door of a restaurant or any place that I'm unfamiliar with, to be quite honest with you, because I need to be able to see what's coming at all times. We got a super chat here from 2B Black Native, says Al Sharpton really impressed with those pretty lady doctors and entire Black excellence. Thank you so much for that super chat. Of course, Scott and Contessa are late, okay? They still getting it together. And Dr. Damon is asking, some awkward questions of Al Sharpton. And so finally, Dr. Scott and Contessa arrive. And I'm a little bit in awe as I'm watching this scene play out. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, I felt like I was there. And then the second thing was, it was really nice to see this group having this conversation with Reverend Al Sharpton, okay? So he gets up and he leaves, yada, yada, yada. But Dr. Heavenly talks about, you know, whether or not the ladies can cook, okay? Which is why she hired the chef. At this point, she says the only person that can cook is Quad, but Quad is too busy showing her booty thing on the ground, okay? So this is where we get the shots of Quad and her backside and the mention of Quad, and why isn't Quad on the show is what I'm asking, okay? Now, then they start talking to Dr. Jackie about her book and, you know, the JJ and everything. Toya alerts the group that she sends Eugene photos of the kitty cat while he is at work. Now, let me say this. There was some talk about at the table about whether or not this is appropriate. Let me tell y'all this. I say this, especially for you, if you're married, if you're in a serious relationship and you committed or whatever, I think it's perfectly okay to send your significant other, okay, especially if you married, you want to send them some private photos while they down to the workhouse, okay? I say send it, because get them ready for tonight. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a prude about it. Let's get, I feel like keep it nasty. Keep it nasty, keep it nasty, and keep it nasty. You know what I'm saying? That's how you keep the things fresh. You know what I'm saying? That's why Quiet as is kept. That's probably why Toya always seems so happy. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like she doing the doggone thing and she ain't got no fear about it. To me, I'm with it. I am with it, okay? Anyway. Attorney Ben Crump shows up. Okay, he thanks them all for using their platforms to highlight the issues. Okay, and I like what he says about police reform. And he talks a lot about accountability. We get stories then about how the doctors have faced racism from patients and stuff like that. And I didn't even think about stuff like that happening to, you know, someone who's in the medical profession, who's like, your job is to help these people. And they don't even want your help because they don't even want you to touch them because of the color of your skin. To me, that is some crazy stuff. And I have to be like, well, you know what? If you don't want my help, then I don't know what to do for you. Good luck to you, okay? Good luck to you and your health, because I'm the only one here that's going to be able to help you today. So what you want to do, okay? Are you willing to die on that hill, literally, for your racism? Because what we want to do, I can take a break right now. I can go on break. Okay? I'm due for a 30-minute break anyway. What you want to do? Because who else going to do it? Huh. Oh, I thought you said something. Okay, so that would be me. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, the next day, Toya and Anila play tennis with their husbands. The group heads out to their group activity. Dr. Contessa is on the speakerphone and she talking to, I guess, whoever's taking care of the kids. And they missed maybe a parent-teacher conference or something like that. Then she gets on the bus and she talking to the daughter on speakerphone. Quiet as it's kept. I don't like when people be talking on speakerphone to their family, to people. I don't at all. Why do I need to hear what you talking about, especially if you have an intense moment and I'm on vacation or I'm on a trip, okay? I don't need to hear that. Contessa, let me tell you, I understand that you probably got to do this for the purposes of filming, but in real life, toss some ear pods in your ear. Put some ear pods in. I can't stand that, especially when you in a car, because then you know what? I can't even listen to my radio. Because I got to be cognizant of the fact that you on a conversation over speakerphone. So the rest of us who are in the car cannot converse. We can't do nothing else. We got to listen to your call that we don't want to know nothing about. Okay. That pisses me off. It annoys me to no end, y'all. It annoys me to no end. Oh, I can't stand when people do it. Anyway, she was doing that. The other reason I feel like, why would you do this is now all the people in the car know your business. They all know what's going on. They all know the child ain't do the work. We all know now. And that leads to a disagreement with Scott in front of everybody. And I feel like, oh, girl, come on. You have got to understand, to me, there's a code that I feel like we got to go by, especially when you get married. And I understand, again, this is a TV show, but I also understand that there has to be a code and an understanding. And I don't understand why they ain't got it, okay? Because a lot of these other husbands and wives, they seem to understand the code. I'm not going to disagree with you in public, okay? You're not going to disagree with me in public. If we sitting there with a group of friends, we sitting there on a trip, we traveling together like that, and you want, I mean, we're not going to pop off at the mouth like that in front of each other. We're going to save that till we get back to the room, especially when it's about the kids and their schooling and what they doing and all this other kind of stuff like that. So now you got everybody up in your business. I don't like the stuff like that either. It's like, leave that stuff back up in the room, because again, now you affected everybody else getting that energy, and I'm a big energy person. So you leave that energy back there. As Oprah says, you are responsible for the energy that you bring into this space. And right now you bringing some negative energy up into this space. So y'all could have handled that earlier. It's aside the fact that you was on the speakerphone with the conversation in the first place, I'm already annoyed, okay? Now I got to sit here and listen to the two of y'all bickering and arguing because y'all can't get it together and y'all don't know the code. I don't understand that. To me, no. Married couples in general, don't argue in front of other people, okay? Always have each other's back, at least to the general public. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do behind closed doors. Argue about it then. But right now ain't the time. Y'all got to go down here and disperse tents and things like that for these people, to try to get these people tested for everything that y'all need to get them tested for. Right now is not the time to be arguing about whether or not the child is going to go to some type of school, or whether who going to do it when they get home. Who can? It's not the time. It's not the time. Okay. I say all that to say I feel like there's some tension between the two of them, you know. So the doctors are headed out to the capture point at the National Mall, for which they will be doing the testing. Now, back in Bethesda, okay, at the house, we see Toya, Carrie, and Anila are getting glammed, right? So Curtis and Cecil are outside playing basketball, because I forgot they not doctors either. So I guess all the doctors are the only people that are going to be out there doing the volunteering for this specific thing. At least that's what it seems like in this moment. So Carrie then tells the ladies, because they're getting glammed up and they're preparing for guests. Now, we do know that in an upcoming episode, we will see Gizelle and Robin with the ladies at dinner. And from what I had heard previously, we're going to get the ladies from what is supposed to be Married to Medicine DC or DMV. I don't know if it's still happening, that will be showing up for a dinner scene as well, or some type of scene, in which I think that's where we saw Contessa and Toya arguing with each other. But that argument is going to stem from something that Carrie tells Toya right here in this scene. Now, Carrie tells her that Contessa and Heavenly want to steal her because she is the intelligent one out of the trio of them. That would be out of the trio of Toya and Anila and Carrie, okay? They have deemed her the intelligent one, even though it was Toya who, by proxy, knew all the answers to the quiz earlier, and Carrie only knew Obama. They have somehow deemed her as the intelligent one. Go figure, okay? No disrespect to Carrie, because I don't know what your IQ is. But what I'm just saying is, on the surface, it seemed like she ain't getting no answers right. So why would she be the most intelligent one out of the three? Out of all the things that was occurring in this episode, this was the first time I realized that Anila was there, okay? And I just started to ask myself, does she fit within the real context of this group of friends? Is she woven within the fabric of this group? And I don't think that she has woven in quite yet, okay? Now, so Toya is upset about this because she's, I think this has hit her in that spot that she feels, that she may feel insecure about, in terms of the other ladies potentially looking down on her, which I kind of feel like they subconsciously do. And Carrie says that it boils down to the fact that we don't have a medical degree. So Anila then says, well, anybody can be a dentist. I guess if you get a degree for it or something, yeah, anybody can put the time and the effort in, maybe. But you gotta, it's a specialization, homie. Like you gotta do the work, lady. You gotta do the work. So Toya is ready to pop her top at this point, at the mere mention that she might not be as intelligent as the rest of the ladies. And so there you have it with this episode of Married to Medicine. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought that was a wild statement that Anila made about anybody could be a dentist. I was like, what? That's a process you got to go through, and it's not easy. I don't know, but okay, girl. Yeah, but to me, I felt like that was the first time I even realized Anila was there. And that's no shade to her. I just they didn't really focus on her this episode. So I don't know. But I also would say this too. You don't have to have a medical degree to be considered smart. So there's that. I just think it's something that they think about Toya in general. That's what I think. I don't know why. So you could look at this a couple of different ways. I'm still waiting for the mid-season trailer. I'm wondering when we're going to get that. Because I feel like there's probably so much left to go through. We haven't even touched on the Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott cheating allegations yet. We haven't even gotten to that. So I just feel like there's a lot left to go over for this season. I'm excited about it. I need them to ramp up the action. I'm ready for Quad to come back in a more heavy capacity, for the rest of the season. And hopefully we get things spiced up a little bit. But at least we know that Potomac is on the horizon. So that's exciting. We'll have to see what happens. Hopefully we'll get a couple of more trailers. But that's it for Married to Medicine, y'all. That's what happened in the episode. Next week we'll be back with another review as we get another episode. But if any news comes out during the week, we'll definitely talk about that. We got a super chat here from Paula, who says, hello, Richie. Well, hello, Paula. Thank you so much for that super chat. We send you love and greetings as well. Yeah, y'all. So I'll be heading over to the All About the Tea channel at 3 p.m. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Otherwise, I will catch you guys in the next video.